Welcome back to our channel, where we share with you the most amazing animal videos that will make you smile. These videos are guaranteed to put a smile on your face and possibly inspire you to do great things. So without further ado, let's begin. In our first story today, this young girl was destined for greatness from birth. Born prematurely, she had every obstacle imaginable stacked against her. The doctors informed her parents, Angelo and Vicky, that their daughter had only a 20% chance of survival. Her heart and lungs were not developed enough to survive outside the womb, so she was immediately placed in an incubator. She had to be kept alive artificially, and it was touch and go for quite some time. It was one of those situations where the doctors could do everything they possibly could, but ultimately it would come down to whether or not God would intervene. Miraculously, she survived and was able to live a normal life. But there's more to the story. You see, when she was born, the nurses noticed something incredible about her hands. They were perfectly symmetrical, which is strange because babies are usually born with one hand curled inward and the other hand open. This baby was different. This detail went unnoticed until she was 4 months old. At that point, her parents started to worry because she wasn't reaching out and grabbing objects like other babies her age. Her condition was referred to as arthrogryposis, which is a rare disorder where the joints become permanently bent at an early stage of development. Since she was born with straight hands, doctors knew that something extraordinary was taking place. They performed several tests and determined that she was a medical miracle. She had beaten the odds and was defying all expectations. Fast forward to present day. Today she's a happy and healthy 8-year-old girl who doesn't allow her situation to bring her down. In fact, she's an inspiration to everyone around her. Every day she shows us that no matter how difficult the circumstances, anything is possible if you set your mind to it. Our next story is guaranteed to melt your heart. A mother duck was sitting on her eggs, patiently waiting for them to hatch. Suddenly, a fox appeared and snatched one of the ducklings before the mother duck could react. The distressed mother duck frantically paddled towards her kidnapped child, desperately trying to save him, but the crafty fox was too quick for her and managed to escape. Fortunately, a little girl witnessed the entire ordeal and immediately jumped into action. She called for her father, and together they devised a plan to rescue the duckling. They knew that the fox had taken refuge in its den, so they carefully approached the entrance and gently coaxed the scared animal out using a stick. Once they had the fox at a safe distance, they lured the duckling out with some breadcrumbs. Miraculously, the duckling emerged unharmed and was eventually reunited with its grateful mother. This heartwarming tale reminds us that kindness and quick thinking can save lives. And it also shows us the lengths to which a mother will go to protect her children. In our next story, a baby gorilla couldn't stop staring at his reflection in the zookeeper's phone screen. When the zookeeper noticed the gorilla's fascination with his reflection, he decided to play along. He pretended to be the gorilla's friend by waving at him through the glass and even making funny faces. The baby gorilla was completely mesmerized and couldn't take his eyes off the phone screen. He kept trying to reach out and touch his reflection, but to no avail. Eventually, the zookeeper put the phone down and the gorilla became visibly upset. He started banging on the glass and making distressed noises. The zookeeper realized that the gorilla wasn't just looking at himself. He actually thought that the image on the phone was another gorilla. He felt isolated and lonely and wanted to interact with his own kind. Zookeepers and vets then came up with a clever solution to solve the problem. They printed out images of gorillas and hung them around the enclosure. This seemed to cheer up the baby gorilla, and he spent his days happily waving and making funny faces at his new friends. The story goes that he never looked at his own reflection again and lived a happy and fulfilled life until his passing at the ripe old age of 22. This touching tale highlights the importance of understanding and respecting animals, especially when they exhibit unusual behaviors. By taking the time to learn about and connect with animals, we can better understand their needs and provide them with the care and attention they require to thrive. In our next story, A young man had been working hard to achieve his goal of becoming a bodybuilder for years. He trained tirelessly and ate clean to build his physique. However, despite his efforts, he was still struggling to gain weight. No matter how much protein he consumed, he just couldn't bulk up. Discouraged and frustrated, he decided to visit a specialist in hopes of finding a solution. After examining the young man, the doctor gave him a surprising diagnosis. He informed him that he was suffering from a rare condition known as muscle dysmorphia. This condition causes people to have an inaccurate perception of their own bodies, making them believe that they are much thinner than they actually are. Despite being physically fit and muscular, the young man saw himself as scrawny and weak. The doctor explained that this distorted self-image was preventing him from gaining weight and achieving his bodybuilding dreams. To overcome this challenge, the doctor recommended that the young man focus on changing his mindset. He suggested that instead of trying to become bigger, he should focus on becoming stronger. By shifting his mindset, he would be able to break through his limitations and achieve his goals. Taking the doctor's advice, the young man began to focus on strength training rather than size. He worked hard and soon started seeing results. His determination paid off, and he eventually won several bodybuilding competitions. In the process, he learned that it's not the size that matters, but the strength and confidence that comes from within. In our next story, a pregnant woman was in for a big surprise. She had no idea that her unborn baby had already made plans for his grand entrance into the world. As her due date approached, she started experiencing contractions, so she and her husband rushed to the hospital. But the baby had other ideas. Just as they arrived at the hospital, his water broke and it was time to push. With the help of her medical team, the woman gave birth to a healthy baby boy. However, there was something unusual about this delivery. You see, when the baby was born, he had no meconium in his stomach. Normally, babies are born with a greenish-black substance called meconium, which is their first stool. But this baby had none. This was concerning because it meant that he hadn't cleared his bowels since he had conceived in the womb, which could indicate a serious medical condition. The doctors were puzzled, but the baby seemed otherwise healthy, and after some monitoring, they allowed the new parents to take him home. For the next few weeks, the parents monitored their baby's bowel movements closely. At first, nothing happened. They tried different foods and drinks, but nothing seemed to stimulate his bowels. Concerned about their son's health, they brought him back to the hospital for further testing. After running several tests, the doctors discovered that the baby's colon had 2 small blockages that were preventing him from passing meconium. To remove the blockages, the doctors inserted a tiny tube into the baby's rectum and successfully cleared his bowel. Finally, the baby was able to pass his first stool. From that day on, the baby's digestive system functioned normally, and he grew up to be a healthy and happy child. This incredible story is a reminder that even in the most unexpected situations, there is always hope for a positive outcome. It's also a testament to the dedication and expertise of medical professionals who work tirelessly to ensure the well-being of their patients. Thanks for watching. We hope these stories inspired you to be kind to animals and never give up on your dreams. If you enjoyed this video, please leave us a like and a comment below to let us know what you thought. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more uplifting content. See you next time.